Why smart people still make poor financial or money decisions. First on my list is pressure changes how we think. Mostly when we are anxious or stressed out, we are always looking for a short term relief over the long term consequences or outcome. Whenever you are stressed or anxious for something to happen, at that time you are vulnerable to making a lot of mistakes. So smart people, the same thing, under those circumstances, are likely to make decisions that may seem logical at the moment, but in the long run might not be the case, but rather a costly decision. Take, for example, when one is anxious for a big financial breakthrough to solve a particular problem, at that point, he's looking at what will solve the problem, that will create relief rather than the long term consequences. So, if anything is packaged and presented to that person, it might take a decision that in the long run might be costly. And this is how people are scammed daily. So, when you hear that somebody is scammed of some amount of money, are like, how will you let this happen? Probably the person is stressed, the person is anxious, and he needs some form of money. And under that circumstance, the person is looking for relief over long-term outcome. And for that matter, the person is easily deceivable and makes you vulnerable at that point, and therefore you might make a wrong financial decision. So pressure is something that always changes how we think and whenever we are about to make financial decisions and likely to make a wrong one. The second thing is sometimes emotions disguise themselves as logic. You know, sometimes you are too excited about an opportunity, you're too excited about a particular situation, and that excitement makes you think is some form of confidence that you have or that is likely to make that decision a success. So your excitement is appearing to you as confidence. Take, for example, why people find it difficult to quit gambling or to quit any form of addiction that is draining them financially. Is that excitement that they have for taking that action that looks like confidence. A gambler will feel like, okay, if I put this amount of money into this gambling, I'm likely to double that money. He's excited about the potential wins, and that excitement appears to the person as confidence. Feel like I'm confident I'm going to win. Oh, this one is winnable. These predictions can go wrong. This move can go wrong. It's form of like confidence, but in actual fact, it is an excitement that is just luring you into taking those decisions. So smart people mostly are not immune. We are human, of course. So your emotions can come wearing suit, looking different, but in actual fact, it is looking like confidence, but in actual fact, it is the emotion that is behind everything. So it's difficult to break this, right? And so you have to be very careful when you are too excited about a financial decision that you have to make. You might think it's because you are confident that it's a right decision, but in actual fact, you are not. The third thing that I've noticed that smart people always overestimate their judgment, right? Smart people or intelligent people they create overconfidence. Like they create this overconfidence, thinking that their intuition or their instinct can never be wrong, and they are too overconfident in what they are doing. And eventually, those overconfidence leads to them not spotting some hidden, unrealistic future occurrences, or this overconfidence creates a blind spot that they don't see, and eventually leads to them making wrong judgment. Now, one other thing that I've noticed, this is like from personal experience, is that if you're smart, just like me, yeah, if you're smart or you're intelligent and your thinking does not align with who you are dealing with, that your intelligence becomes your weakness. Let me say it again. Your intelligence may become your weakness, or your smartness may become your weak point. And let me give you an example. Anytime I have a motorbike that I use, anytime it has a fault and I have to give it to a mechanic, after repairing, I ask them, okay, your workmanship is how much? Maybe after I've purchased all the parts that they need. The mechanic goes ahead to say anything that you have. okay, in my smart move, I say, okay, let me pay this mechanic good money so that anytime I come, he will do good job for me. He knows that this guy pays well. Let me do. And over time, realize that the mechanics have noticed that okay, this guy, whenever he comes, he pays good. Why don't we leave a back door, something that will keep bringing him back here, so we can get more money, right? So my intelligence, which is telling me, pay the mechanic well and get good service. The mechanic have thought about this. Okay, why not do the opposite instead of servicing the thing right? Let me do in such a way that this person will keep coming back, right? So that I can get more money from that. So mostly your judgment or whatever you are thinking as a right way, as a smart person, if it doesn't align with whoever you are dealing with, that smartness become your weak point that will be exploited financially. However, let's assume that the mechanic also thinks like me. Is going to be like, oh, okay, this guy pays good, then let's put in good effort. Let's do his work well so that whenever he comes and we have to do his work, he's going to pay us well. You at that point, I begin to benefit from my smart thinking. But if we have opposite thoughts, then you that thinks you are smart, you may be the weaker vessel in that equation and you'll be exploited. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment part two. And let me give you some situations and some point why smart people will use their smartness against themselves. Your brain and your smartness might be an asset against you and how to navigate these challenges. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and give feedback. Thank you.